Hi, friends and fellow Earth Angels. It's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering August 30th through September 5th, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these to be timeless readings, meaning you can come back at any time to receive guidance and insight. So, this week we have a full moon in Pisces, and I'm also feeling this is going to be a big week. I don't know exactly what that means. I feel full. I feel like I've been eating and wanting to ground. I've also been feeling the call to cocoon, hibernate, maintaining that inner peace within. So, I also feel the wisdom that the divine this week wants to remind you that the way you feel and the way you move through things is a choice. And a lot of my channel explains how life happens for us and not necessarily against us, and how we have experiences that will squeeze us, that will make us uncomfortable to push us to grow. So, that being said, we're here to be a beacon of life on this planet. It's really hard to do that when we're consumed in the low vibrational energy of the planet. So, this week, I called in the big guns. I'm going to start with Archangel Michael. I have heard sirens nonstop the last 2 days. And I'm just soaking that protection in, that energy in. And when I was getting ready to do this reading, I heard the sirens. I'm like, okay, Michael it is. And you know, Michael speaks. When he speaks loud and proud. I'm going to get additional messages from the Oracle of the Angels deck, followed by Mother Mary, Queen of the Angels, Jesus. Oh yeah, I'm going there this week. And finally, Love and Light. And you know, these are my God cards. These are my cards that I use to connect with that highest vibration of unconditional love, Divine Mother, Divine Father. Okay, so let me open up space. I feel like I have a lot to say, and it's also like I'm going to leave it up to the cards. So let me start by opening space, inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the Divine Mother and Father, and all their holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. Whew. Okay, so the yellow candle I chose is all about empowerment. Standing in your power. And I don't mean this as the ego part of our power where we need to fight or be aggressive or demand. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the empowerment of I know in my physical being, grounded to the earth and above, that this is my core essence. This is who I am. This is why I've come to this planet. And so I feel like we have to remember when we're being squeezed and when things are stormy, that what shows up is what we still need to focus our attention on. So sometimes, and this has happened on my journey for sure, along the way. Sometimes when we get tested or feel like we're being squeezed or life gets overwhelming, we can throw all caution to the wind and the divine goes out the window. Oh, if there was a God, this wouldn't be happening, right? That's the ego speaking. So I would really like to guide you this week to be mindful of where you're at and what your core beliefs are. Even when you're being squeezed, even when you're being challenged. And this just reinforces your own spiritual body to be a beacon of light on this planet. You know, I think about Jesus' story and how he had many, 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 many adversities, many difficulties, many challenges, many hurdles to overcome. But to the core essence of him, he had his faith. He had his trust in the power of the divine. Now, there are many stories throughout history from all walks of life, all over, who lived all over this planet, who at their core essence, they knew who they were and they continued to stand up for what they believed in their integrity, but not necessarily in the fight. More of, I'm going to be the embodiment of peace and I'm going to be the example. So that's why I'm saying pulling out of the aggression, the attention, the need to want to, I don't know, I just keep seeing like judgments and spiraling gossip or feeding like the low vibrations. So where can you take pause this week to really look at your own stuff and where you're at and your core beliefs to reevaluate? So, Michael, what do you got to say? That being said, Michael, what do you need the divine, what do you need the Earth Angel Collective to know this week? It's the most important thing you need them to hear, see, feel, and know. Just make it loud and clear. Okay, the bunch keeps wanting to come out, so I'm just going to go with it. Bottom of the deck, believe and trust. Oh, first and foremost. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage, and confidence. This is overall. This is the theme of the week. Now, I'm not necessarily saying bad things are going to happen or this isn't a premonition. It is just a reminder, right? It's just a reminder that our core beliefs may be challenged through experiences. And it might be from things that are outside of us or beyond us. And it might not be directly affecting you, but energetically it's affecting all of us on this planet. So the messages. All right. New beginnings and a fresh start. Have confidence. This is your life's purpose. God is in charge. I mean, I could end the reading right there. I won't though. So, new beginnings and a fresh start. The prayer. So, some of you that made this, each this week, I'm going to hold these cards up and you might want to make a screenshot of the prayer. And the collective, the Earth Angel Collective right now is fragmented, meaning there's a lot of things happening with a lot of different people. And masculine energies, feminine energies. And what I've been seeing with the work that I've been doing with clients is the core wounds are coming up. The mother wound, the father wounds, the inner child wounds. And we can't stuff and hold in our emotions anymore. And so many people need to talk. So many people need to get off their chest what they've been bottling up for so long. And that's a common thing with Earth Angels, caregivers, especially highly sensitive people, empathic people. Bottling up the emotions is, unfortunately, we think it's keeping us safe, but it's actually creating distortion within the body. So, new beginnings this week. For some of you, you've got new beginnings and a fresh start. And so with new beginnings and a fresh start, maybe you're starting something new. Maybe you're going somewhere that isn't familiar to you. Maybe you finally released something and now you're going into new territory and you're like, what's next? Understand that it's going to take you some time to adjust into this new space, and some annoyances could come up. It's like going to a new school or going to a place for the first time. It's like you got to take some time to integrate in, get the lay of the land, know where the important things are. So you have patience with yourself this week if you are starting something new. So the prayer is, thank you for bringing me opportunities and offering support, and for helping me release and heal my past. Fill me with trust as I experience these life changes. So again, some of you might be going through an experience that you're finally over with or done with, or maybe you've cut some cords and attachments. So your physical world may look the same, but maybe inside, the person that you are, the things that you're no longer willing to accept in your life, the changes you're making, know that Archangel Michael is supporting you this week, and you can call on him and ask him for assistance. Last week, the Ask card came up, and I cannot speak. That card speaks volumes when I'm working with clients, and the universe always says, tell them we abide by the law of free will. We will not intervene unless somebody's asking. This is why the foundation of prayer and turning your attention to God is so powerful, because in a way you're giving permission for them to work with you. Have confidence this week. Some of you might waver, and maybe you've made some decisions along the way, or maybe you are being challenged and tested. Have confidence, right? Maybe, that person is coming in and is going to challenge your beliefs, or is going to challenge your core essence of who you are. Maybe you've got to finally take some steps to better your health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And so this card says, Archangel Michael, please lend me your courage and fortitude. Help me realize that I am one with all that is divine wisdom, strength, love, creativity, abundance, and health. Allow me to feel confident and peaceful about myself in all ways, right? This goes back to what I was talking about in the beginning about bringing that confidence in the divine into your physical body, this deep knowing within your chest, within your stomach. A lot of you can intellectualize, I know what I need to do, and I know the steps to take, right? But it gets kind of stuck there. We've got to actually bring it through the crown chakra, down into the heart, down past the feet chakras, down into the core of Mother Earth. We've got to really anchor it in. And what better way to do that than be fed up with something? No, I'm not going through this again, or I'm not going to experience this again, or it's time for change. I'm finally fed up. And that's okay. It's okay to be fed up. But your ego is going to tell you, it's going to want to keep you it's going to want to keep you in fear, and it's going to want to make you doubt, and it's going to make you kind of turn away from God. It's God's fault, and he doesn't love me if this isn't happening to me. Well, as human beings, we need to take ownership for our own experiences, our own feelings, our own emotions. And when we have confidence, when those doubtful thoughts creep in, all our prayers and inner wisdom gets activated, and you hear the sirens, which is my sign for Archangel Michael, and or maybe you start seeing swords, or you start seeing knights like with suits of armor, and that's another sign. Obviously, shields. These are all signs. And Michael is saying that if fear arises this week, know that this is him right in front of you. This is him standing in front of you. I'm sorry, I'm pausing because I am hearing the sirens off in the distance. So, next card. This is your life's purpose. Archangel Michael, you know the details of my divine life purpose. And I ask you to help me be aligned with my goals. Please clearly guide my actions so that I'm taking the best steps to fully manifest my wonderful and meaningful career. So I have been speaking the last few months about how we're going to be called to action, how we're going to be asked to stand in our light, to ground, and protect that unconditional love that we possess inside of us. We've been talking about the inner masculine, right? That provides and protects. We've been talking about that beautiful divine feminine essence that's intuitive, receptive, magnetic, magical, alluring. That masculine that's strong, resilient, deep thinker. So there's this blend of these energies. So as you move forward, right, you've been practicing self-care, you've been practicing those go-to methods, whether it's meditation, whether it's walks, whether it's prayer, whether it's going to a community support group, calling a spiritual advisor, a therapist. You've been really working on this deep self-care, which is the foundational roots for a lot of your divine missions. So above it all, no matter where you're at, remembering that God is in charge. Now, this doesn't mean God is the boss over us. This isn't, so a lot of earth angels have challenges with authority figures because maybe you had parents or teachers or siblings or family members when you were little who abused their power. And so it's hard to be open to the idea of God being in charge for fear of power and control over, and that we don't have a say. When we say God is in charge, it means our spiritual force is activated within us, which activates the power to move anything out of our lives that isn't a vibrational match in our map of life, right? In our design as a human. So the message here says, Dear God, please help me to let go of this situation. Give it in faith and trust to your divine wisdom and infinite love in order to resolve and heal everything and everyone involved. So maybe if you're coming up against situations or experiences this week that just seem to be out of your control, understand it's probably happening for a reason. And we may not understand why, but when we can understand that we have a purpose here on this planet, again, reintegrating the energy of true love on the earth that we live in, things have to change. We need to get comfortable with change and tension and discomfort. It's part of growth. And we can set really good boundaries. We can self-preserve. We can choose who we spend our time with or we don't. We can choose the opportunities that we feel work for us or don't. Use your voice this week, but check in with the wisdom if it's coming from an aggressive, distorted place. All right, Michael, what additional message do you have? Oracle of the Angels. I'm just seeing Michael and his armies of angels going out. What can we add to this reading so far that we have? Fulfillment. Yep. So 6. 6 is the energy of creativity, home, family. So it's home within the self, the physical body. Feeling at home in your own home. Feeling at home with the divine. Comfort. That's what I'm seeing. So for some of you, fulfillment. Some of you may be chasing something. And that chase has just gotten really hard. and difficult. And no matter how much you acquire, no matter how much you accomplish, you may still feel unfulfilled. Remember, we talk all the time about how nothing in the 3D world will ever satiate you, will ever fulfill you like the divine and the empowerment that we receive from this force that works with us. So ask yourself, how have you, all right, I'm going to say it because it's come up. How have you lost your faith? How have you been teetering because you're consumed with the world of chaos, the world of illusions? Some of you may have forgotten who you are, why you're here, and why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah, it's great to have money. Yeah, it's great to have nice things. But I can tell you from experience, there's nothing in the world that can sustain you for a long period of time. There's no material possession that can actually sustain a deep level of inner peace than peace with God, peace with the divine, peace with Creator, peace within yourself. So it doesn't matter how many babies you have, how big your house is, how many friends you have, what kind of job you have. I mean, those are all things that can add to an overall fulfilling life. But if you're doing those things to get happiness, to get something, you're already out of alignment with the natural flow of your spiritual vibration. Some of you have maybe already learned this, and I feel like Archangel Michael is encouraging you to teach it. Start working with people who are suffering, who are struggling. So here in the United States, we have an election coming up in a few months. It's coming fast. It doesn't matter who gets in, there's still going to be disruption, disarray, disorder. It happens every time there's a change in power. And this election specifically is heated on both sides. So we're here to really ground our energy, to raise our vibration of love, to support this great awakening that we're in, right? Remember, many of you are here because you've gone through a dark night of the soul. Many of you are awakened and you've been going through this journey. Those of you who are on this channel and you've already moved through a lot of this stuff, it's now time for you to start putting yourself out there, teaching others, being of assistance. How can you be of service? And I mean healthy service. So, for example, being healthy service is somebody who works in a food kitchen and feeds the homeless. That person is in service. They're not in a codependent way where they get involved in every single person that comes along the way. There's like a volunteer that I'm going to be this energy to feed these people, and then I'm going to disconnect and I'm going to go back to my life and really be grateful and ask God, how can I be a beacon of light in the world? Meals on Wheels. Those people provide a service for the greater good of humanity. But in that service, you've got to pull out of, like, let's say somebody who works for Meals on Wheels, their service is to go and drop off the food to feed people. But they've got to go, right? They got to go and move on to the next person who needs food. They cannot spend an entire day with one person because there may be 50 people that day that need food, right? So you've got to ask yourself, how can you be of greater service? How can you offer your divine gifts? And maybe that's the fulfillment too. Maybe some of you are like, God, I've done the work and I'm ready to take action. I'm ready to share my gifts. And sometimes the simplest thing to you, sometimes, make sure that's not getting hot. Sometimes the things that come easy to you, maybe it's being a good listener. Maybe it's kindness. Maybe it's compassion and understanding. Sometimes those simple gifts are the greatest treasure to somebody else. So don't belittle the gifts that you have because you're looking at other people who appear to have greater gifts or they've got a bigger mission. How can you be of service in this world? And that could be an inquiry question where you sit down and ask God, how can I be of service? But you've also got to define what service is. It's not taking in every wounded bird along the way so that you're depleted energetically, emotionally, spiritually, physically. How can you, and this is what a lot of the Earth Angels have been doing, is been working on boundaries, emotional boundaries, right? In being able to have challenges to understand deeper what is important to us. One of my big missions personally is to work with young women and to empower them and strengthen them to live their absolute best life in self-esteem, confidence, worth, value, because of a long history of the feminine energy being abused and manipulated and suppressed. That's a big part of my mission, right? And that's been a big part of my life to overcome. So understand that what you've gone through and what you've overcome is a part of how you're going to help others and be of service to others. So I can be of service by being a good example in the best way I can. I know I'm not going to please everybody. I know I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. Right? But this deep fulfillment that I have, hands down, I'll do anything to protect it, which is balance, right? Self-preservation, giving freely, graciously from the overflow. If you're depleted right now, check in with yourself energetically. If you're feeling short-fused, if you're feeling annoyed, if you're feeling aggravated, it's a sign that you're energetically depleted. And there's nothing that you have to do other than pull your energy out of everything that you're doing and give yourself some space to think, feel, go within. You got to create pause, right? Pause within your life. Reflection, contemplation, right? The problem is, many of you know that when wisdom speaks, the capital W, when wisdom speaks from the core of your being, it is going to require you to change. And that's when fears get activated and worries get activated, and it's easy to run away from the capital W, wisdom. But I'm telling you, friends, that wisdom, that depth of wisdom within you is going to speaking louder and louder and louder. Hence, all these messages from Archangel Michael this week. All right, Mother Mary. Okay, so I'm gonna connect with Mother Mary as the Divine Mother. There's a lot of people going through the mother wound right now, needing to be nurtured, soothed, love and hugs. People's inner children are freaking the heck out. So I'm gonna ask Mother Mary, what nurturing message do you have for the collective this week from the mother, from the Divine Mother energy? It's the most important thing that they need to hear, see, feel, and know. Children. My heart is filled with love for children, which creates miracles and positive change for them and me. Wow. So, we may physically hear news stories about children this week. I know there were, I believe, 30 children that were rescued in Georgia. Innocents, right? Some of you're being asked to connect with your own inner child. I know last week I shared an essential oil from Young Living called Inner Child that I've been using to really soothe my own inner child and just get a deeper connection with that part of me. And also, too, I'm seeing have patience with people, even though you're looking at them and they're full-grown adults. A lot of them are scared little boys and girls, confused, hurt, disgusted, bitter. So they're blaming and judging and lashing out. And that's what a kid does, right? The stage, they're little egomaniacs. It's all about them, right? That's the stage, though. That's the stage. And the role of the parent is to create a force of boundaries, right? When the child pushes those boundaries, it's the role of the parent to stand firm in core beliefs. No, you can't hit. No, you can't bite. No, you can't eat sand. No, you can't throw sand. No, you can't hurt that person, right? And so we're having, I just feel like so many people, the innocence, right? The innocence and the magic and the wonder of the world is being stripped and violated through this poison that's being filtered into so many people's consciousness. And so I feel like this is like a call to the earth angels to remember who you are. Remember this essence of love, that you've come back here again on this planet to be a beacon of light. So some of you activating your own inner child this week and nurturing and soothing and comforting. So like I said, if this is a tough week for you, know that your inner child may need some comfort, some nurturing. Sometimes just sitting down and putting your hand over your heart and your stomach and just asking that part of you, that inner child or that part of you, saying, what do you need me to know? What do you need from me? What can I give you? There's some really great inner child meditations out there. I've done a few on Insight Timer. And so there's a link to my podcast in the description box below, which will take you to the app. And you can download that app. If you want to follow my podcast, great. But there are some really great inner child meditations on that. Also, too, I had one that I posted on the August 8th reading, the week of August 8th, and I will repost that in the link below. That was phenomenal. So some of you need to pull out, right? Pull out. Maybe it's drama. Maybe it's pulling out of, they're showing me fast food consumption. So some of you may be literally fast food. Some of you may be junk TV, reality TV, dramas, like drama TV shows. Some of you may be already depleted. And these shows are just maybe like enhancing that depletion or that distortion within. Let me see here. Oh, I just got Mother Mary. This is Mother Mary to all of you. Mother Mary's message to you is saying, my heart is filled with love for children, which creates miracles and positive changes for them and me. So I feel like she's saying, my heart is filled with love for you. And so maybe some of you being open to Mother Mary just pouring down her maternal kindness, gentleness, that energy that just soothes the soul, that moves you to tears in this deep knowing that everything really is going to be okay, even though everything is feeling out of control. So I feel like she's saying, my children, I love you. And it's my love that creates miracles and positive change. So being open to receive divine love on a higher level can assist with manifesting miracles. Some of you may need a miracle, right? Some of you might be in a place where you're like, man, I need a miracle. I don't know how it's going to happen. But God is using his Earth Angel army to work miracles and magic so that the people can see. God knows that people live by seeing is believing. So he's using you to manifest the miracles. All right. The big guy. All right, Jesus. Brother, my brother. What message do you have for the collective this week? What brotherly love do you have for your people? It's the most important message you need to hear them to hear, see, feel, and know. Oh, God, here it is with the children again. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Friends, I'm telling you, I think some of us may have lost our way. We've gotten consumed. So right now I have my left hand over my heart. Like I'm just sitting here, I'm reading, and I don't know, it's a natural thing. I've got my hand over my heart. And just in that moment of pause, like I literally felt my hand vibrating into my chest. And so I feel like love. I just feel the love from Jesus just pouring forth as I have my hand over my heart and I channel the words through this reading. Jesus wants you to feel him with you, in you, around you. This is how he sees you this week, right? The child needing comfort. And I'm not saying your children in a belittling way. I'm saying it from a place of innocence, from a place of not knowing or understanding the higher plan. So we can get really scared. And if you didn't have a mother or a father or both that you could rely on to protect you and comfort you and give you love and hugs, this world is really, really scary right now. So I feel like I was guided to this reading to really pull you back or bring you back into that remembering the innocence. And that you have these powerful forces, right? For me, like this is a coming home to the light, opening up to the light. And as you do, you receive the love and hugs, right? From the divine. Fear not. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Now, it's a little challenging as the human experience. So it does require a deeper level of faith and trust, right? Surrender. That's the word. Not give up control, but how do you surrender in a place of leaning in? I miss hugs. One of my favorite things is getting a hug from somebody that I can just melt into. There's nothing greater than being able to have somebody come and hug you to the point when you can let all the tension go in your body and you can just let that person squeeze you as if, I'm safe. And a very large part of the population is not open for that. They're too scared, right, to open up. Earth angels embody that kind of love. Now, obviously, with restrictions and where you are in the country or the world, you can't go hugging everybody. But if you can allow the divine to come in, maybe it's Mother Mary, maybe it's Jesus, maybe it's God, maybe it's Archangel Michael. If you can allow them to come in and squeeze you so tight that you release all the tension in your body, and you might be moved to tears, and that's okay too. Tears cleanse the soul. It's the activation of your feminine energy, which uncovers more wisdom and insight and guidance. I always say that I have always felt the closest to God after a really good cry. So I don't hold back anymore. I just cry whenever. And I don't judge it anymore, right? I don't put blame on anything. I don't judge it. It just is. And I know after that cry, I will have more guidance. I'll have more answers, or I'll feel more fulfilled and deeply connected with the essence of myself, which moves me to the knowing that I'm all I need in this world. And meaning me with the divine is all I need in this world, and I have an abundance of love and support around me, right? Let me see here. Oh my God. Guys, girls, you can't make this up. I mean, I couldn't pull better cards. I think every week these cards come in perfect alignment. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Be not afraid. Only believe, right? Have confidence. This is your life purpose. God is in charge. I feel like this is almost like believe and trust, right? I feel like this is like God saying, I knew it. They're all getting they're all like teetering a little bit, and that's okay. I get it. I understand the human experiences can be challenging, and I need to call in reinforcements. So here we are. Speaking of the boss, let's get his message. What is the most important thing God, Creator, Source, Universe needs you to hear, see, feel, and know this week? Whew. You know what? I just want to call attention to this too. More. Jesus helping his children. I'm telling you, I think there's going to be a big shift physically with children in the next coming weeks. We're going to hear more stories about saving the children. And we're going to need a lot more maternal energy, right? To comfort and soothe that energy. And then also too within yourself, your own inner child. So inner child work, I'm telling you, is phenomenal. There are some really great therapists, clinicians, psychologists, social workers, spiritual advisors that are doing this deep inner work. And I encourage you to just go online and research it and see what you're called to. Maybe you have Psychology Today, or I know here in Rhode Island we have a website called zencare.co. I think it's zencare.co, I believe. I think it's limited. I know it's here in Rhode Island, and there are many, many different holistic practitioners on there. So, maybe it's time to start working with somebody to unpack the baggage, right? Unpack the emotional trauma for you to assist. You really want to be guided to somebody who's maternal, right? Nurturing, who's going to comfort you, support you, teach you, and inspire you. All right, those I can tell you from my experience. I've been working with those practitioners, and I've been working on my own journey to be able to support you. We are ready. And maybe you're an earth angel that, maybe you're transforming your practice, your traditional clinical, therapy practices. Maybe you're transforming them and adding in the divine feminine, the intuition, the insight. I'm telling you, those of you who are watching this, they're coming. They're coming. So be ready. Get your rest, get your sleep, get your schedule in order. And really all you have to do is open up space, because they're going to be coming in droves. All right. So, all right, God, what's the most important message you need to hear, they need to hear, see, feel, and know this week? All right. Wow. Okay, so a happy home. So I'm hearing the song. It's sung by children around Christmas time. The words are, "Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. And let it begin with me." I can't sing. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And it's a chorus of children. I'm hearing that song. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description box below. And I feel like just those words, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me, right? When you're peaceful and you feel good, you radiate that energy around you, and the people around you feel good. And then the people around them feel good. And then the people around them feel good. So know that this is God right now. He has the whole world in his hands. And he's sending down his love and light. And remember, the empathic, the earth angels of the planet, the sensitives, you guys are feeling this energy, right? Saying, let me in to receive this, because I'm going to use you as a divine blessing and a miracle for other people. Maybe you'll be guided to donate money to someone. Maybe you'll be guided to show up at a shelter with a bunch of food for the dogs and the cats. Maybe you'll just feel like, you know what? I'm feeling abundant and I'm just going to give. Maybe it'll be inspired in the moment. And maybe you're going to be called to just not go out and stay in and be with yourself for a little bit, to create this happy home, right? This fulfillment within. It says, "My people will live in safety, quietly at home. They will be at rest." So God is saying, I have a plan. Trust me. I know it looks scary. I know it looks confusing. And I need you. Bottom of the deck. Be still, so you may hear me, so you may hear God. It says, for the life of everything living, for the life of every living thing on, wait a minute. Deep breath. I just had a lot of energy flowing through me all at once. Let me see. For the life of every living thing is in his hand, and the breath of every human being. Right? So even the water here. So we have by the water here. We have the full moon in Pisces, which is a water sign. The full moon in Pisces is about it's about intuition, gut feelings, insights, the divine guidance within. So I feel like God is reminding you that you will have to be still, pull back, right, from all the all-consuming drama of the world, and fill up your tank. It's like that oxygen mask, right? They tell you on a plane, put your oxygen mask on first and you'll be better able to help others. All right. The book is closed. I'm finished. Let me close space. Let me thank all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that assisted. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started through this reading continue for as long as it needs to be done. And so, quick announcement, my office is still closed. Another couple weeks. I know I have a running list, a wait list for my past life regressions in office, past life regressions. Here's the thing, that regression work requires me to channel a meditation and for you to hear it in a meditative state. It's really challenging with a mask on. And in my state right now, in Rhode Island, practitioners are still required to wear a mask. So that's why I can't, in good faith and integrity of the work that I do and the integrity of the session, open up. So I thank you for those who are willing to wait. And I've also opened up a boutique reading. It's an oracle card reading. It's a past life oracle card reading. Now, I had just done one yesterday, and I asked the client what she thought because she had a past life regression in the office. And she said she actually liked the oracle card reading, the video chat oracle card reading, better, she said, because it took the pressure off of her, like, performance wise. In the guided meditation, in the past life regression in the office, you're going into your own memories and you're talking and you're recalling. And she said sometimes it can feel like a lot of pressure to perform or to get something, right? And so she said it was actually, she could be more open to the cards that were coming out because there was no pressure to perform. And I thought that was amazing. I thought it was amazing perspective. So, and these oracle card readings are for people who have been doing the healing and you want to go deeper. If you've just been scratching the surface and you really need like that egg to crack open, I'm telling you, these readings are powerful. I know I put it on the calendar for an August special, but I am going to keep it. And I am also doing an angel card reading. I'm designing an angel card boutique reading that both of those will probably just stay on my calendar. So it's not going to be one of those, tell me what to do, or I need to consult the cards. That's not the kind of reading it is. Although there's nothing wrong with that. There's definitely plenty of people out there who are doing that. So the work that I'm doing is really to get to really connect with the inner child, the adolescence, the parts of you that you've been straying away from that actually have wisdom for you. All right, so all my information to connect with me is below. Of course, if you ever have any questions, you can reach out. And I thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe subscribe to this channel, like this reading. After a little while, the way the algorithms work on YouTube is I'll just disappear. As long, I notice that when I click things that I like, I keep seeing more of that. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I haven't seen any posts from that person, or oh, what's going on with that person? And so I go down to the subscribe button on the app on my phone, and I'm like, oh, there they all are. So, but really the things that you're watching regularly are what pops up. So if this is helpful, sometimes out of sight, out of mind, that's just the human experience. Liking always helps, or subscribing and getting those notifications helps. Or not. Come when you're called. I don't plan on going anywhere. So, I love you, whether you watch me once or you watch me every single week. I love you to the core of my being. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.